HGTV. Ever heard of them? More than just a television channel. They're a channel, right? I don't watch TV, okay? I just watch YouTube. But without a doubt, a prestigious media form in the design space when it comes to interior, exterior, gardening, home and garden television. Kind of tells you what they are, right? So I stumbled upon an article on the Canadian website, believe it or not, 10 kitchen renovation trends for 2023 according to homeowners. And this article is sort of like Inception because it's HGTV, but it's referencing house with 2 Z's. But what's great about this article is there's numbers involved. We can see the percentage of homeowners that are including these different aspects in their kitchen renovations. The first one being sustainability influencing their choices. And a whopping 92% of people are including sustainable features that are maybe a little more energy efficient overall. So that could be materials that are used, the types of light bulbs and appliances. Nearly half of these homeowners also thought about the sustainability of their design, meaning they were even thinking about picking a timeless design that they'd be less likely to redo in 5 or less years. So I think that's cool too. It's not about the physical elements necessarily, it's the kitchen as a whole. The cabinet style doors are starting to change a little bit, although we're still seeing a ton of people using shaker style cabinets. Apparently it's gone down a few points in popularity, but it's still the overwhelming favorite. The flat panel doors, they're coming back up a little bit. So I kind of feel like that's a bit of a wash because my gut tells me that next year it could just flop right back. So I don't know. In terms of the handles themselves on the cabinets, bar pulls by far the leader, way more than knobs, which I get because a lot of people are replacing their knobs for bar pulls. They just look a little sleeker and they give you more to grip too, which is a nice practical element. And fun fact, 6% of people had 0 pulls at all. So no handles. We're seeing a gain in wood cabinets, which is kind of interesting. I think the key here, based on my experience, is going with high quality materials. So we're not just thinking about a veneer, but solid wood cabinets are really starting to become more popular. You're getting a lot of really nice products in the stain department. So that gives you more options in terms of color and finish that I think we didn't really have as much before, like 10, 20, 30 years ago. But unfortunately, white cabinets are still the most popular. 40% of people opt for white cabinets. I feel like it's way more, don't you? This next metric is an interesting one because it's discussing the motivation behind a kitchen renovation. That kind of rhymed. Sort of stumbled through it though. So the main motivator, number one, is they're just sick of the style of their existing kitchen. Seems kind of obvious, but then when you start talking about the other two, it becomes a little more interesting. The second most common reason is just the physical deterioration of your kitchen. So their kitchen was starting to just fall apart essentially. So it was more of a necessity to get it changed up and renovated. And then the third reason at 34%, so not too far off, is they just simply had the means, they had the finances to make it happen, to renovate the kitchen. So they weren't forced to because they were so disgusted with their white cabinets. No, I'm just kidding. And their kitchen was still functional. It wasn't deteriorating, but they just had some money that they wanted to spend to just revitalize it. Next up is technology. And this is one that I like. So we're seeing a lot more people really prioritizing electronics in their kitchen. That is docking stations, wireless speakers, stereo systems, lighting, all that good stuff. Technology moves quickly, but if you are renovating your kitchen, there are some really fun things that you can implement electronics-wise to enhance the whole thing. In regards to lighting with kitchen cabinets, recessed lights are still the numero uno by quite a margin. People aren't really as crazy about the under cabinet lights for whatever reason. There's more of an emphasis on islands and making them more usable and larger. Islands are getting bigger. They're also having more storage space built into them. So I think that is something that we've seen trending up quite a bit. You're also seeing 2-tiered islands or 2 islands or 1 massive island. A lot of people are crazy about the islands. Some of the most common upgrades happen to be your countertops, your backsplashes, and your sinks. Those are sort of the 3 kings or queens. And 20% of people approximately are replacing the interior and exterior doors of their kitchen. Another big aspect of kitchen renovations in 2023 is adjusting the overall layout of your kitchen, making it more functional, more space optimized. That also becomes a huge priority for a lot of people, especially if you're doing a major renovation. You want to make sure that whatever you're putting in is optimized. It has a nice feng shui, a nice flow. You don't want to open your dishwasher and then realize, oh, it's hitting the countertop. That's an extreme example, but you get the idea. And in terms of whether open kitchens or closed off kitchens are more popular, we saw a little bit of a dip in open concept with the lockdowns and all that stuff, mainly because people liked compartmentalization. They were tired of being in everyone's space all the time. But now, according to this article, it's starting to revert back a bit. So people, they appreciate the openness of those more open layouts with your kitchens, even to the point where we're not talking about interior spaces, but also opening up a little bit into outdoor spaces. Bit of a bump there. And for me, if I do have the means of opening up my kitchen to the rest of the home, I do it. I like it. I like to entertain. I like to make fun cappuccinos for people. Like, I want to interact, and open kitchens help me do that. If you had the means to renovate your kitchen, what would be the most important factor? Is it replacing the appliances, adjusting the layout, just changing up the color? Let me know down below. And we do talk about kitchens quite a bit on this channel, as you can see in this video right over here.